Who is the best Minecraft player? This is a topic that's been brought up hundreds of times, and to me personally, I think this is a very interesting one. The topic of who the best Minecraft player is came from tournaments like Minecraft Monday and Minecraft Championship. Tournaments that include some of the best Minecraft players all together to see who wins it all. And due to these tournaments, there were many videos made talking about who the best Minecraft player is. But the issue with these videos is that all the point systems are flawed. For example, some completely ignore building and redstone, and some completely ignore other important skills like speedrunning, survival, and even game mechanics. But in this video, I think I officially have the best point system that includes every aspect of the game. And with this point system, I think I officially found who the best Minecraft player is. So if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I put a lot of effort into these videos and it would mean a lot to me. And remember, at the end of the day, this is just for fun. Don't take this too seriously. And don't you dare even think about going in the comments saying things like, the best Minecraft player is actually somebody nobody probably knows about. Shut up! Okay, but let's get into who the best Minecraft player is. So when you think of the best Minecraft player, who are the players that you think about? Some people say Dream, having good PvP and really good IQ, pulling off crazy things in his manhunt. Some people say Technoblade, who has won many tournaments, broken many records, and proves himself time and time again, showing how dominant he is at the game. And then there's people who say Minemanner is the best player because he's good at PvP and knows how to build, which are very impressive skills, don't get me wrong, but no. Well, after looking at hundreds of potential players who can be the best Minecraft player and getting research on all of them, I can proudly say that I think I know who the best Minecraft player is. But before I tell you, I should probably explain to you how I'm determining this. And just like most people who'd make these type of videos, I'm gonna be using a point system. But I made sure that this point system is better than everyone else's because it covers every single category in Minecraft history. So let me explain to you what these categories are. There is a total of 7 categories in this point system, 5 of them being worth 10 points and 2 of them being worth 5 points. So this means that the max score you could get is 60 points, and to be an above average player, you have to be above 30 points. But without any further ado, let's get into the categories that will get you these points, and the first being speedrunning. Now, while speedrunning isn't as popular as things like PvP, it's still a big aspect of the game, and it takes a lot of skill to learn and be good at speedrunning. And not only that, but speedrunning will also help out other categories in this point system, for example, game IQ and survival, but we'll get there when we get there. But again, speedrunning is a massive skill to have, especially when you're really good at it, and it's going to be worth a total of 10 points in this point system. And now let's get into the next category, that being game IQ. Game IQ is also going to be worth 10 points, and this knowledge will be rewarded by how much knowledge you have of the game. For example, this knowledge gets spread through redstone, PvP, survival, speedrunning. This category just spreads through all other categories, and I believe having knowledge of the game is a really big aspect of the game and will really help you out in being the best Minecraft player. The third category we're going to be using for this point system is PvP. PvP is probably the most popular way to compete in Minecraft, so we have to add it in the list. Like, come on. PvP is gonna be judged based on how good you are overall, meaning 1.8 and 1.9 will be included. However, I do understand that some players are better than others at certain versions, so what I'm gonna do is if you're good at one version, you're gonna be scored at 8 points for your main version, and for the version you're worst at, you're gonna be scored at 2 points, which will push you to the 10 points you need to get a perfect score. I personally believe this is a pretty fair scoring system, and it might even be too generous, but I believe it's the most fair for people who are good at one version and not the other. And at the end of the day, you still need to be good at both versions to get a perfect score. The fourth category we're going to be looking at is survival, which to be honest is probably the most straightforward category of them all. It's pretty much just your knowledge of Minecraft survival and how good you are at it. For example, making farms, finding items, not dying, etc. Again, pretty straightforward, but let's move on to the next category, being mechanics. Game mechanics is a category that could be judged by many things, including PvP mechanics, which is pretty much how good you are at rodding, bow boosting, W tapping, etc. Mechanics also include speedrun mechanics, which is pretty much your movement, your inventory management, your crafting, and just anything that makes the speedrun faster. And lastly in mechanics is bridging and parkour. I think this category is really good for really technical players and will reward them. And also, just look at this. How can I not score points for this amazing skill? Like, just look at this. This is insane. But yeah, that's mechanics. It's a really straightforward one. And let's move on to the last 2 categories that are worth only 5 points instead of 10. And I know you guys are going to be mad, but let me explain before anything. These 2 categories are redstone and building. The reason why these are worth 5 points instead of 10, or not only are they not popular, but some players are just naturally more skilled at these than others. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to get better at redstone and building, but what I'm saying is it's harder for people who suck at building now to get really good at building compared to people who are already good getting better. Unlike the other categories that pretty much anyone could get better at them with a good amount of practice, building and redstone take a lot of natural skill, and it's not fair for people who are bad at building to just get destroyed in points by people who are way better at them naturally, which is why redstone and building are only 5 points. I mean, just remember, I could have absolutely ignored these two categories, but I still added them unlike most videos. And I know people are still gonna get mad, but trust me, I tried my best to make this as fair as possible. And with all of these, we could truly find who the best Minecraft player is. Now, before I show you guys the best Minecraft player, I'm gonna go over some players that people consider the best and players that almost became the best, but just weren't there yet. And who else to start off with but with Minemanner, someone who is constantly considered as the best Minecraft player. I gave Minemanner in 4 speedrunning because he doesn't know how to speedrun, not that we know of, a 6 in game IQ, a 10 in PvP, 5 in survival, 6 in mechanics, 5 in building. From what I've seen, he's pretty good at building. I don't know if 5 is deserved, but I'm being really generous and give him a 5, and a 1 in redstone because I don't know if he does any redstone, giving him a total score of 37 points, which is really good, but it's just not enough to be a top player. Another player who's constantly considered the best Minecraft player because of the Mr. Epic's video is Etho. And Etho got a score of 41 points, which is really good, and he's actually one of the top best Minecraft players from what I've seen. But it's just not enough to give him the role of the best Minecraft player. He's close, don't get me wrong. If he were to work on his PvP, he could definitely become the best Minecraft player, but it's just not enough. Giving Etho a score of 41, which again, it's really good, just not enough to become the best Minecraft player. Okay, so before I tell you who the best Minecraft players are, I'm gonna quickly cover as many players as I can that I know you guys will find interesting and will want to know what score they got. So let's go. Pizza scoring a total of 38 points. He is a really well and balanced speedrunner. Curryway, who is well known for his speedrunning, scored 41 points. Crooks, considered one of the best speedrunners of all time, scored 36. Tapple scored 38. Bad Boy Halo scored 33. Calvin scored 38. Mumbo Jumbo scored 34. Moxie scored 33. Benex scored 37. Philza scored 38. Fire Breathman scored 36. Grian scoring 40. Gamerboy80 scoring 35. Stimpy scoring 38. Xnestorio scoring 37. Skeppy scoring 33. Wisp EXE scoring 35. And SP737 scoring a total of 40 points, which is also really good, and he's also one of the top players. On this screen right now are also some really good top players that aren't really as popular, but I still felt the need to give them credit. And meanwhile, I'm gonna take this time to tell you guys to subscribe if you are enjoying the video. I also want to thank my Twitch chat for helping me out. They were there with me while I was doing all this. But with that out of the way, let me tell you who the top Minecraft players are. And who else to start with but with Dream. Now, technically, Dream isn't even a top 5 player. I'm sorry. But the reason why I'm making a whole section for him is because I know people are gonna yell at me in the comments, so I want to defend myself. Dream is a good player, there's no doubt about it. But he's not the best, not even top 5, losing to players like SB737 and Grian. But he still managed to get a good score of 39 points, so let me tell you how he did this. And what other category to start with but with speedrunning. Dream is really well known for his speedrunning. He's actually held world records before. But I'm giving Dream a score of 7 in speedrunning because don't get me wrong, world records are impressive, but when he got these world records, the speedruns just weren't as optimized as they are now, and they took way less skill to get world record. However, I do think Dream has a lot of potential in speedrunning, but after he cheated and he announced his retire from speedrunning, I don't see this number ever changing from a 7, but don't get me wrong, I do think Dream could get really good at speedrunning. He's just not gonna do it though. Up next is Dream's game IQ, and even though Dream is known for his super epic, amazing manhunt plays, that's not really what's gonna score him points here, especially because most of those plays aren't done on the fly and they're actually scripted. However, just because these manhunt plays aren't gonna help him out very much, it doesn't mean that Dream isn't getting any points here. He's actually gonna get 1 point because of speedrunning, pushing him to 6 points, but that's not it, as his knowledge in PvP and parkour will help him get that extra point, giving him a total of 7 points in game IQ, which is really good. Up next is Dream's PvP, and I think Dream is pretty underrated here. Dream is really well known for his 1.9 PvP, and he actually is really good, giving him a total of 8 out of 8 points for 1.9. Dream is also really good at 1.8 PvP, especially after he trained a lot for the Technoblade duel, but I don't think he's good enough to get full 2 points on 1.8 yet. I'm gonna give him 1 point though because he is above average and he's pretty good. This gives Dream 9 points in PvP, which is really good. Now up next is survival. Now Dream does play on the Dream SMP, and that is survival, but I haven't really seen anything too impressive there. However, I will give him a point because of his knowledge in speedrunning, and that's pretty good because you have to learn a good amount of survival to be able to speedrun. Up next is Dream's mechanics, where I give him a total score of 7 points, coming from PvP and parkour. And last but not least is Dreams, Redstone, and Building, and I mean, I don't think he does either of those, so I just gave him the average points for that. And this gives Dream a total of 39 points, which again, it's really good. Don't get me wrong, Dream is a good player, but he's still a couple points away from the best Minecraft player. But now let's talk about the runner-ups for the best Minecraft player. Now, tied for third place, I have Feinberg and Illumina. These are two speedrunners who are not only good at speedrunning, but are good at many other aspects of the game, so let me cover that for you. First, we'll start with Feinberg, who has beat Minecraft in 9 minutes and has gotten all the achievements in under 3 hours. I mean, that's just impressive, giving him a total of 10 points in speedrunning. Feinberg's game IQ gets a total of 8 points, all coming from speedrunning, PvP, and survival. He's really good at all 3 of these things, and especially when you speedrun as much as he does, you learn a lot about the game. Up next is PvP, where he scores a total of 8 points, 7 points from 1.8, and 1 point from 1.9. Up next is survival, where he scores 7 points. Normally, speedrunners would get a score of 6 points because they get a lot of experience from speedrunning, but Feinberg gets a total of 7 points due to the amount of experience of not only speedrunning the game, but the amount of times he speedran getting all of the achievements in Minecraft. It just improves your survival score a lot more. For mechanics, Feinberg gets 7 total points coming from speedrunning and PvP. And last but not least, building and redstone, he just got the average points of 2 and 1. This gives Feinberg the total score of 43 points, giving him third place. But remember, there is another player who got 43 points, that being Illumina. Illumina got a score of 10 in speedrunning because he's Illumina. Illumina has speedran for way longer than probably 99% of the community. And through all those years, he's been a top player every single year. So yeah, he's literally the GOAT. Come on. Illumina gets a score of 8 in game IQ coming from speedrunning and PvP. I mean, he's been playing the game for years. It's not really surprising. Illumina is also just really good at PvP, which is why I gave him 8 points. This is because he's really balanced on both 1.9 and 1.8 PvP. Illumina gets a 6 in survival because he speedruns, and of course you get that extra point from speedrunning. And he gets an 8 in mechanics, getting points from PvP, speedrunning, and parkour. I then give Illumina the average points for building and redstone, and in total this gives Illumina a total of 43 points, tying for third place. But now let's move on to second place, this being Technoblade. Technoblade got a total score of 44 points, getting a 5 in speedrunning. Technoblade gets a total of 7 in game IQ, this coming from survival and PvP. And speaking of PvP, Technoblade gets a total of 10 points in PvP. Technoblade showed time and time again how talented he was at PvP. He was able to beat players like Calvin, who are really good at 1.8, and players like Dream, who are really good at 1.9, just showing his dominance in both versions. And I truly do believe that giving him a total score of 10 points is really fair here. Up next is survival, where he gets a total of 9 points. Technoblade was surprisingly a really good survival player, and it's probably his most underrated skill. Just looking at his dominance in the Earth SMP and the Dream SMP, you could see all the knowledge he had in survival. He was also friends with Filza, who is considered one of the best hardcore players of all time, giving Technoblade a total score of 9 in survival, which is really good. For mechanics, Technoblade got a total score of 8 points. This is coming from PvP, parkour, and bridging. And last but not least is building and redstone, which surprisingly Technoblade actually got points for these. This is a redstone door that Technoblade made, and it's really cool. I don't even know how to do this. And Technoblade was also just really solid at building. Just taking a look at his builds, he wasn't bad at all, and it's also another underrated skill he has. And in total, this gives Technoblade a total score of 44 points, barely missing the best Minecraft player crown. But now that we know who the top players are, it is time to reveal who the best Minecraft player is, and surprisingly, it was Fruitberries. Fruitberries was able to get a total of 45 points, barely beating Technoblade by 1. Fruitberries got an 8 in speedrunning, which is really good as he was able to beat Minecraft in 12 minutes. Really impressive, and Fruitberries gets an 8 in speedrunning. In game IQ, Fruitberries gets a total of 8 points, getting points from speedrunning, PvP, and mechanics. Trust me, we're gonna get to the mechanics later, but for now, Fruitberries gets a total of 8 in game IQ. Up next is PvP, and the last time I did one of these videos, I gave Fruitberries an 8 in PvP, but after looking deeper at Fruit's PvP, I could definitely confirm that he's one of the best to ever do it, being able to compete with players like Calvin in 1.8 and Technoblade in 1.9. Fruit is a really talented PvPer, and this gives him a total of 10 points in PvP. Next is survival, and I don't really know much about Fruitberries' survival. I only gave him 6 points because of his speedrunning knowledge. And now to the mechanics, where Fruitberries gets a total of 10 points. Is this really surprising? Not only does he get points from PvP and speedrunning, but this kid's bridging, his parkour, this guy is just so talented. Like, look at this. So yeah, again, he's really good at mechanics. He deserves the 10. Come on. And last but not least is building and redstone, and Fruitberries has never really shown his building or redstone, so I could only give him average points here. And overall, Fruitberries gets a total of 45 points, making him the best Minecraft player in the world by 1 on point. Going from speedrunning to PvP to his mechanics, he's just crazy at like every aspect of the game. Fruitberries is currently the best Minecraft player of all time, and I don't think he's gonna stop. He's only gonna get better and better. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Like and subscribe, and check out my Twitch, which is in the description. Check out these videos on the screen. I put a lot of effort into these too, and I really think you would enjoy them. Anyways, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.